Oh boy, William got inside a cave during an archaeological expedition. There were 3 ways out, however, only one of them was safe. His map said that behind the first way out there was a pond that swallowed everything in. The second way out led to dangerous dinosaurs that would eat him alive. The third way out led to an erupting volcano. Which way was safe? The second one, because the dinosaurs went extinct many years ago. You're running away from a pack of zombies and come across 3 doors. Behind the first one, there's raging fire. Behind the second one, there's a lake of water. Behind the third one, there's a venomous snake. Which way would you choose? I'd recommend to choose the second one and swim away. It's just a lake. You can do it. During his vacation in the jungles, Aiden was caught by some tribe. They tied him up and said they'd push him into one of the 3 pits of his choice. The first pit was filled with zombies. The second one, there was raging fire. The third one was filled with huge pitcher plants. Which pit should Aiden pick? He should choose the third one. The pitcher plants only eat insects. They're not dangerous for people. Aston reported that someone had robbed his house. Detective Callum arrived and asked Aston to tell him what happened. He said that he walked into his room and saw someone getting out of his window. They must have heard him walking inside the house. Then he checked his desk and found that his money had been stolen. Detective Callum asked if Aston had touched anything else, and the man said he hadn't. Detective Callum closed the case and refused to proceed. Can you guess why? The robber wouldn't get out of the window without stepping on the bed. However, the bed was perfectly made, and Aston said he hadn't touched it. It means there was no robber. Waverly was an archaeologist looking for a pirate treasure. In one of the caves on a deserted island, she finally found it. There were 3 chests, and one of them was filled with gold and gems. However, if she picked one of the wrong chests, terrible things would happen to her. Luckily, there were statements on each of them, but only one of these statements was true. 1. The treasure is in this chest. 2. The treasure isn't in this chest. 3. The treasure isn't in chest number 1. Which of the chests has the treasure? Let's solve it step by step. If the first statement is true, then the treasure must be in the first chest, and the other statements must be false. In this case, the second statement is also correct, so that was a wrong guess. If the second statement is true, then the treasure isn't in the first chest. The treasure isn't in the second chest either, just like it says. Then it must be in the third one. However, this makes the third statement correct too, although it shouldn't be. If the third statement is true, then from the first statement that is wrong, you can conclude that there's no treasure in the first chest. Since the second one is wrong too, then the treasure must be there. Now there's no contradictions, and the treasure is in the second chest. Whew. Does anybody else have chest pains? Just me? Okay. Skylar and Amelia are pen pals. Skylar said that her birthday was in winter, and Amelia said that hers is in summer. However, a couple of months later, they both had their birthday on the same day. Still, none of them lied. How is it possible? They live in different hemispheres. When it's wintertime in the US, it's summer in Australia, and vice versa. Mrs. Fitz came back from work and found that her favorite cup was broken. She asked her daughters who had done it. Katie said, "It wasn't me." Serena said, "It wasn't me either." Hannah said, "It was Serena." Mrs. Fitz knew her daughters well, and she could tell what happened. Only one of the girls was telling the truth. Can you guess who broke the cup? If Katie tells the truth, then firstly, it wasn't her who broke the cup. Secondly, the other 2 girls are lying. Serena is lying, so you can conclude it was her. But then Hannah is right, and that's a contradiction. Let's say Hannah is right. Then it was Serena who broke the cup, and Serena is lying. But then Katie is telling the truth too when she says it wasn't her. So Serena is telling the truth. She says it wasn't her, so you can trust her. And Katie and Hannah are lying. Katie says it wasn't her, so it was her. And Hannah says it's Serena, which is a lie. So Serena is the honest girl, and Katie is the guilty one. Hannah is just a liar. Esme was on her casual walk in the forest, and she didn't get lost this time. Here it was, her way home. But the other one was away to the witch's house. After a bit of thinking, Esme decided she had to say hi to her old friends and visit the witch. The witch said she didn't have a riddle for her that day, and Esme was free to go. But Esme had one. She said if the witch got it wrong, Esme would take her cat. Dear witch, imagine you're in a dark room. How can you get out? She mustn't imagine that. Spoiler, the witch got it and kept the cat. Next time, Esme. A police officer was walking in a neighborhood and stopped one gentleman. He asked him what the man was doing, and he said that he had just left his house to go to the grocery store. However, the officer didn't believe him and arrested the man. Why? Look, it's snowing, and there are fresh footprints on the snow that lead out of the window. House owners usually use the front door to walk out of the house, so this one must be a burglar. Bryce was a grumpy old gentleman who didn't like some teenagers walking past his house. So once, he decided to report them so they'd never be allowed to get close to him anymore. He called the authorities and told them that he was having tea on his terrace, and those teenagers threw a baseball at him. Luckily, the baseball flew above him. However, the detective didn't believe it had happened at all. Why? Take a look at the terrace. It's all made of glass. Bryce's place is right next to a window. If the baseball had flown right above him, as he said, it would have broken the glass. Thomas was collecting action figures. Some of them he got from his grandfather. They were super rare, and his collection of more than 500 figures was worth about $1 million. One day he came home from vacation and found out that his collection was stolen. Detective Callum was up for the case. There were 3 suspects, all of them were Thomas's neighbors. He said that the collection of action figures had been stolen and asked what they had been doing during the holidays. Sydney said that she was in the neighborhood. She was working but had nothing to do with the figures. Mateo said that his grandma is staying with him, so he's always with her, and he couldn't find any room for 500 action figures at his place. Gideon said that he wasn't even in the neighborhood and had just come back himself. Who stole the collection? Mateo. No one mentioned how many figures there were in the collection, but he knew somehow. Samantha, a rich woman, found out that someone had stolen the money from her wallet. There were 3 people in the house: Malcolm, a cleaning man, Grace, a gardener, and Sebastian, a boy who walks her dog. She reported the case. The police took the fingerprints but only found those of Samantha herself. Still, they had the main suspect. Who was it? The main suspect was the cleaning man Malcolm. He's wearing gloves, and that's why he was able to do it without leaving any fingerprints. Annabelle didn't want to go to school, so in the morning, she went downstairs and told her mom that she wasn't feeling well. She said that she had eaten a bit of apple last night, and it must have been poisoned because she'd been feeling unwell all night. However, Mrs. Collins didn't believe her and sent Annabelle to school. Why? There's just one bite on the apple, and it's a fresh one. If Annabelle had left this bite last night, it'd be brown, but it was still okay, which meant it was fresh. At school, Sophie opened her locker and found an envelope. Inside, there was a calendar and a note asking if she wanted to go to the prom. However, instead of the name, there were just several numbers: 17, 2, 30, 25. Can you guess who asked Sophie to prom? The calendar is the key. You just have to find all the numbers and see what name the first letters of the respective months give you. So, 17 is circled in August, so it's A. Number 2 is in December, which gives us D. Number 30 is in April, so A again. And finally, number 25 is May 25, so it's May. Seems like the guy's name is Adam. Too bad there are 13 Adams at her school. Elsie walked into a party store to buy something. She learned that 1 costs $1, 17 costs $2, and 103 costs $3. She needed 22. What do you think she's buying, and how much should you pay? She's probably buying birthday candles for a cake, so each candle costs $1. She needs 22, which is 2 candles, so she'll have to spend $2. An ancient soul that carries universal wisdom within, or a young beginner excited about every new experience? What is the actual age of your soul? These 20 questions will help reveal the truth. Get ready to track your points and see the result at the end of the video. What kind of friend are you? A. The crazy friend. I'm all for adventure. B. The advisor. People listen to me. C. The loyal friend. My friends know they can rely on me. D. The lucky friend. I always get out of trouble unscathed. Option A brings you 20 points. If you add B, add 40 points to your count. Option C is worth 30 points. And in case you chose option D, give yourself 10 points. Where would you rather live? A. In a beautiful high-rise apartment. B. With my parents. C. In a rustic cottage in the countryside. Or D. I feel at home anywhere. Option A gives you 20 points. B adds 10 points to your score. Option C brings 30 points, and D adds 40 points. What would you like to achieve in life? A. Stability and peace. B. World fame. C. Just stay my genuine self. D. A loving relationship. If you had A, add 10 points to your score. Option B gives you 20 points. Option C is worth 40 points, and D brings you 30 points. What issue do you struggle with the most? A. Apathy and laziness. B. Cynicism and boredom. C. Low self-esteem and feeling lost. D. Loneliness and anxiety. Option A brings you 20 points. Add 40 points for option B. Option C gives you 10 points, and D adds 30 points to your score. You feel happiest when you A. Win in a competition. B. I'm always happy. C. Have a party with friends. D. Spend time alone. Option A is worth 20 points. B brings you 40 points. C adds 30 points to your score. Option D is worth 10 points. What is your worst quality? A. I'm too cynical. B. I'm overly naive. C. I can get too emotional. D. I'm too hardworking. Okay, option A is worth 40 points. B brings you 10 points. C adds 20 points to your count. And option D gives you 30 points. What scares you the most? A. Being limited and controlled. B. Never finding true love. C. Losing my family. D. Betraying my values. Option A brings you 20 points, B gives you 30 points, C adds 10 points to your basket, and option D brings you 40 points. What time do you go to bed? A. I often stay up all night. B. Around midnight. C. At 1 a.m. or so. D. No later than 10 p.m. Option A adds 20 points to your count. B brings 30 points. Option C gives you 10 points. And D adds 40 points to your score. How do you prefer to get your news? A. Via the social media feed. B. I avoid it altogether. C. Friends tell me everything. D. I watch news on TV. Option A adds 20 points to your score. B brings you 40 points. Option C is worth 10 points. And D adds 30 points to your count. What career do you think suits you the best? A. Rock star. B. Top manager. C. Freelance artist. D. Writer. Option A is worth 10 points. B brings you 30 points. C adds 20 points to your count. Option D gives you 40 points. What's your relationship like with your relatives? A. I love them dearly. B. I don't want to be like them. C. I need them. D. I feel related to every human. Option A is worth 20 points. B brings you 30 points. C adds 10 points to your score. Option D gives you 40 points. What color do you like more? A. Yellow. B. Green. C. Pink. D. Purple. Option A brings you 20 points. 30 points for option B. C gives you 10 points, and D adds 40 points to your score. Pick an animal. A. A whale. B. A tiger. C. A monkey. D. A horse. Option A brings you 40 points. B gives you 20 points. C adds 10 points to your count. And option D brings you 30 points. Your perfect weekend would be A. Meditating in nature. B. A barbecue party with friends. C. Going on an exotic vacation. D. Trying something new, maybe artistic workshop. Option A is worth 40 points. B brings you 30 points. C adds 20 points to your score. Option D gives you 10 points. What qualities do you expect to see in your ideal romantic partner? A. Passion and charisma. B. Caring and kind-heartedness. C. Self-sufficiency and joyfulness. D. Peace of mind and devotion. Option A brings you 20 points. 30 points for option B. Option C gives you 40 points, and D adds 10 points to your score. Almost there. Who did you dream to become when you were little? A. A wizard. B. An astronaut. C. A famous actor. D. I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps. Option A brings you 40 points. Option B is worth 30 points. C gives you 20 points, and D adds 10 points to your score. What meal would you prefer? A. Extra hot Chinese noodles. B. A fruit salad or smoothie. C. A burger with French fries. D. Just coffee with cookies, please. Option A brings you 20 points. Option B is worth 40 points. Option C gives you 10 points, and D adds 30 points. If your life was a movie, what would it look like? A. Action or horror movie. B. Romantic comedy. C. Fantasy or Indian series. D. Adventure cartoon. Option A brings you 20 points. B is worth 30 points. Option C gives you 40 points, and D is worth 10 points. Do you memorize the dreams you see at night? A. I literally have never had any dreams. B. My dreams are usually black and white. C. Bro, I do lucid dreaming every night. D. I dream in colorful, fantastic images. Well, dreamers, if you chose Option A, add 20 points to your score. Option B is worth 30 points. Option C brings you 40 points. And D is worth 10 points. And finally, the last question. If you were a piece of furniture, then which one? A. A dinner table. B. A fancy mirror. C. A cozy couch. D. A king-size bed. Option A brings you 30 points. B is worth 40 points. Option C gives you 10 points. And D is worth 20 points. Now it's time to sum up all your points. If your final score is 200 to 350, you are a baby soul. It means your soul is at the beginning stage of its development. But that's not a bad thing. Although you may face a lot of uncertainty in your life, your innocent heart has a lot of love and hope. Where others see closed doors, you see an abundance of exciting opportunities, and you're brave enough to take them. That's why people may call you lucky, and it's not surprising, the universe protects its babies while they grow. If you've got 350 to 500 points, your soul is a teenager. The most important thing for you is independence. You perceive the outside world as a competition, defending your boundaries and strive to win. You're adventurous, competitive, and hardworking. Teenage souls pursue independence, status, and success. They enjoy traveling the world and meeting new people. Some may call you an egocentric drama queen, but let's be honest, they're just jealous. Those who scored 500 to 650 points are mature souls. You don't chase money and fame at any cost. You know exactly who you are and strive to be your bright, authentic self. Mature souls tend to build loving, committed relationships with others and create loyal communities. People probably say you're a caring and responsible friend and leader. You need to stay true to your values and avoid temptations. If you've got 650 points and more, you have the soul of a wise person. Old souls like you enjoy simple moments in life and stay away from drama. You perceive life as your piece of art and master it with great patience. You solve problems with a joyful and creative approach. People come to you for advice and inspiration because you can find a way out of even the most desperate situation. A perfect career for you is the one that allows you to serve people, share your wisdom, and initiate their personal growth.